starting with number 1. It says here the first term in the geometric sequence below is negative 13 if it can be determined what is the sixth term. There are lots of ways to do this. The first thing is to notice what is a geometric sequence. So a geometric sequence is a sequence of numbers that is created by multiplying or dividing by the same number over and over and over again. While an arithmetic sequence is a sequence that is created by adding or subtracting the same number over and over again. So, and when you look at the number of terms given, you have the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and they're looking for the sixth only. So you can easily just figure out what is the number that we're multiplying by or that we're dividing by and accordingly get the sixth term. ازاي اجيب انا بعمل times كام؟ Pick any two terms and divide a term by the previous term. يعني الترم اللي قبله. Any term whatsoever you're going to pick, just divide it by اللي قبله. So if you do negative 208, divide it by the term اللي قبله, which is 104, and it would give you negative 2. Or someone else would pick 104 and divide it by the negative 52, and it would still give you negative 2. So if you pick any two terms and divide them by each other, but make sure that the second first, أو يعني لو أخذت الترم الأول divide it by the older term اللي فوق هو الجديد مش القديم, you'll get the ratio that we're multiplying by. This number here اللي أنا بعمل b times is called ratio, by the way, and it's usually given the letter R. So أنا بعمل times negative 2 apparently كل مرة عشان أوصل من one term to the next one. I just need to multiply this by negative 2. That would get me positive 416. So D is the correct answer. طيب. On the other hand, if this was an arithmetic sequence, the difference between the terms بجيبه بإن أنا أعمل أي term minus the previous term. So في الجيومتريك sequence لما أحب أجيب ال R اللي هي الريشيو اللي هو الرقم اللي أنا بعمل بيه times كل مرة, بعمل أي term divided اللي قبله. في الاريثماتيك sequence لما بحب أجيب ال difference اللي هو الرقم اللي بعمل بيه plus أو minus كل مرة, بعمل أي term minus اللي قبله. Any questions there? Okay. Now, if we move to number 2, it says in the standard XY coordinate plane, point A has coordinates negative 7 and negative 5. Point A is then translated 7 units to the left and 5 units down. That image is labeled A dash. What is the coordinates of A dash? What are, the coordinates of A dash? So they need the new coordinates of A dash. لو أنا عندي point اللي هي كانت negative 7 و negative 5, و I started moving it زي ما هم قالوا 7 units left, so we need to move 7 left and 5 units down. So when we're moving left and right, this is a movement along the x-axis. So this movement بتاعت left أو right, this only affects the x coordinate, the x value is. While the movement بتاعت up or down, this one only affects the y coordinate instead. So accordingly you can tell إن أنا ال 7 left يبقى I move positive ولا negative. 7 left is negative in this case. So I'm supposed to take the negative 7 and subtract منها another 7. يعني أعمل negative 7 minus 7. So the new x coordinate is negative 14. بعدين ال down وال up لما move down, is this negative ولا positive? Down negative و up positive. زي ما في left و right يمين positive و left negative. So accordingly برضو هنا هاخد ال negative 5 وهعملها minus 5 كمان عشان هي went down 5. So ال y coordinate هتبقى ب negative 10. So this is my new coordinate, negative 14 and negative 10. F is the new A dash. So لو عملت movement left هعمل minus, right هعمل plus. الكلام ده كله للx coordinate بس. لو عملت movement up هعمل plus، لو عملت movement down هعمل minus. الكلام ده على ايه؟ على ال y coordinate بس. we clear؟ Awesome. Number 3. It says Olga worked on a project for 4.5 hours on each of 6 work days. On the 7th day of working on the project, Olga worked 1/3 of the time she had worked each of the previous work days to complete the project. How many hours did it take Olga to complete the project? So apparently عندي 6 days، هي قعدت 4.5 for 6 days. So 4.5 times 6 هيقول لي هي قعدت قد ايه في ال 6 days overall number of hours. 4 times 6 24 to 27 hours total. This is for the first 6 days. And then on the 7th day she worked 1/3 of the time she worked each day. 1/3 of something, or 2/3 of something, or 1/6 of something means 1/3 times something. times ايه؟ times التايم اللي هي كانت بتشتغله كل يوم. So mainly في اليوم السابع هي عملت 1/3 multiplied by 4.5 لأن هي كانت كل يوم بتقعد 4.5 hours. So على calculator كده just do 1/3 times 4.5. and it would get you 1.5. So another 1.5 hours on the 7th day. So in total, these are 28.5 hours. 28.5 hours, which is B. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. Going on to number 4 quickly. Given that 5 pounds of coffee makes exactly 210 servings, how many pounds of coffee makes exactly 7 servings? This type of question, this way of questioning, you have one full piece of information and then another half information there. This is a cross multiplication question. We have mainly pounds of coffee and we have number of servings. 5 pounds of coffee would exactly make 210 servings. If I need only 70 servings, so أحط servings تحت serving، أجيب إزاي ال number of pounds؟ I'll cross multiply. So I'll do 5 times 70 and then divided by 210, which would come out as 5/3, I think. No. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I think it's 5/3, and in this case it would be 2/3. Let me try it on a calculator. صح؟ طيب. So then F is the correct answer. Again, the important thing here is to make sure that you order things the right way. Servings تحت servings, pounds تحت pounds. Recognize بس إن أنا عندي again full piece of information إن هو 5 pounds بيطلعوا لي 210 servings. And then the half information is that what would the 70 servings get me in pounds? So cross multiply and get whatever you want. Moving on to number 5, it says here RT shown below. Point S is on RT. The length of RS is 10 centimeters. The length of ST is 18 centimeters. What is the distance between T and the midpoint of RS? So we're going to go for the RS first and get the midpoint of it. But understand that the midpoint is exactly in the middle, which makes this side 5 and this side 5. I need the distance between the point T, which is this one here, and the midpoint. So I need to know what's this distance here. I have 5 here and 18 there, so 5 plus 18, that's a total of 23. So the answer here is D right away. And we actually solved this question قبل كده in separately يعني في التوبكس اللي كنا بنشتغل فيها. Moving on to number 6 على طول, I have an algebraic expression where I have something multiplied by a bracket. Whenever I have anything multiplied by a bracket, I'll distribute it first before even reading what's this whole thing all about. So I'll distribute this P onto this bracket and this 8 onto whatever is inside this bracket. And then P times 2 would become 2P, and P times R is just PR, plus 8 times P, which is 8P, and 8 times R is just 8R. You then check if there are any like terms, and you always add like terms together. So there's this 2P here and this 8P here, and that's a total of 10P minus PR minus 8R. And then you check the choices. Apparently that's choice K. As long as that 8 is negative and P is negative and 10 is positive, then it's 100% true. So it doesn't matter if I switch the locations of those, and there's no need to switch any signs عشان ما فيش equal sign تخليني أغير signs أو حاجة من حاجة. Is this one okay? Yes. Now moving on to number 7. It says 50 shoppers at a pet store were asked if they owned at least one cat and or at least one dog. Data from their answers were recorded below. How many of these shoppers said that they owned neither a cat nor a dog? You're told here the number of people who actually says I only have cat, I only have dog, or I have a cat and a dog. Good. So let's add them up together and check how many people are we talking about here. The cats along with the dogs, along with the cat and dogs, the three of them together, that's 44. 44. And they said at the very beginning that these were 50 shoppers. So the remaining people, who majority they don't own a cat or a dog. They own a pet, maybe. So it's 50 minus 44, or they own any other pet, I mean. So 6 is the number of people who own neither a cat nor a dog. Are we good? Moving on quickly to number 8. I don't know. I will not even try to pronounce the name. Yvette. I'm not sure. Anyway, so it has 6 pairs of leggings, 2 pairs of shoes, and 6 t-shirts. Yeah, right? Which all go together well. How many different grouping consisting of one of her 6 pairs of leggings, one of her 2 pairs of shoes, and one of her 6 t-shirts are available for Yvette to wear? So here's the thing. We did lots and lots of questions that use this exact same method, which is called fundamental counting principles. You check how many places that you're going to choose things from. So you're going to choose apparently 1 legging, 1 shoes, and 1 t-shirt. And you're going to go for each space and add the number of possible choices that you're going to pick from. So how many different leggings are available? 6. And then how many different t-shirts are available? 6. And how many different shoes are available? Just 2. If you multiply those by each other, that would get you the different possibilities of outfits that she could wear using those items, which would be a total of 72. So K is the correct answer. Does this make sense as well? We did this على النمبر plates، على حاجة لها علاقة بالنمبر plates أو على digits، حاجة كده كانت، وديت على toppings وservings وحاجات كده. طيب, let's go for number 9. According to the United States Department of Commerce, the approximate area of Rhode Island is 1.5 times 10 to the power of 3 square miles. And the approximate area of Alaska is 6.6 times 10 to the power of 5 square miles. Using these measurements, which of the following is closest to the ratio of the area of Alaska to the area of Rhode Island? So whenever we need to find the ratio between any two things whatsoever, so if I need to find the ratio between, again, Alaska and Rhode Island, this means I'm supposed to get Alaska and divide by Rhode Island. So the ratio between two things, just divide them. If I need the ratio between the area of Alaska again and Rhode Island, Alaska is right there, 6.6 times 10 to the power of 5, and Rhode Island is right here, 1.5 times 10 to the power of 3. To be honest, if you go on a calculator and you do those, it would be extremely easy and it would kind of get you the answer right away. It's 6.6 times 10 to the power of 5 and then divide by 1.5 times 10 to the power of 3. On a calculator, this should give you right away 440, which then means that the ratio is 440 to 1, which is B. Now assume in your calculators these are 10 to the power of numbers that are bigger than 5, and in that case the calculator would not even have enough space to write it down. What I would recommend is to make sure that the tens in both numbers have the same powers. Yani you try to make them have the same powers. If this is 10 to the power of 5 and this is 10 to the power of 3, try to change a bit in this one so that it becomes both 10 to the power of 3. How can I make the 6.6 times 10 to the power of 3 if I moved this decimal point 2 units? So instead of 6.6, I can put 660 times 10 to the power of 3 and then over 1.5 times 10 to the power of 3 as well. And once you try to write this on a calculator, just write the parts without the 10 at all, and it would get you the exact same correct answer right away. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's move finally to number 10. It says here rectangle A has a length of 64 inches and a width of 48. So I have a rectangle called A, and I have length of 64 and width of 48. And then rectangle B, that's another rectangle, has a length that are both 3/4 times the length and width of the rectangle. So B, the new one, has length and width that are 3/4 of the other length and width. طبعا الرسمة is not right because this should be much smaller. So it should be 3/4 times 64 and 3/4 times 48. Now rectangle C has a length and width that are both 3/4 times length and the width of rectangle B. So you get to rectangle C, that's the third one, where you're going to do 3/4 times 3/4 times 64, and this one 3/4 times 3/4 times 40. They're asking what is the perimeter of the rectangle C, so just get those measurements on a calculator and then add them up and multiply that by 2. So 3/4 times 3/4 times 64, then the length here would be 36, and then 3/4 times 3/4 times 48, the width here would be 27. So the perimeter would be to add all of those sides up. So it's 36 plus 27 times 2, which is 126 total. Does this make sense as well? So you all, whoever had a mistake, you understand exactly where did that go wrong and how to do it the right way? Type. Let's quickly right away head to Google Classroom and start working on parts 3 and 4. For parts 3 and 4, we'll get a total of 12 minutes. 12 minutes starting now. Question mainly بس applies على طول the rule of the exponents here. Whenever we have a power over another power, we multiply those powers and it becomes x to the power of 18. So the answer for this one is B right away. So moving to number 12, it says here a king-sized inflatable rectangular bed, when fully inflated will have inside dimensions in inches of 78 by 75 by 5. An air pump can pump air into the bed at a rate of 100 cubic inches per second. Add that rate. Now, whenever you see the word add that rate here, this is a keyword. This is a keyword for cross multiplication.